built something of yours in the Mueller redevelopment recently. I appreciate you building that quality product.
Oh, we like you selling them, so thank you.
Absolutely. So I asked Nick to come on, and what's interesting is I was out this weekend in Circle C, like I am a lot, at relocating buyers in town. Not only did they like what they're building there from Standard Pacific enough that they wanted to go see it, they went back and saw Nick again on Saturday night, and I think they're on their way to see him again today.
Oh, congrats.
So we very well may have a contract coming here pretty soon, don't we, Nick? We'll have to see. But they like your product, so you know it's exciting because in Circle C, and I want you to kind of answer the question of sort of what are you building there. But in Circle C, Perry, there's not a lot of choices for new construction. You do not have a lot of choices.
There's not only not a.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just saying there's not only not a lot of choices in new construction, but there's really not a lot of choices in the resale market in Circle C. It's really kind of a unique submarket of the Austin area, and we've been very, very lucky to get into that submarket with offering the new product, the new construction, and we've been very, very successful.
Well, and that's very true. I mean, if you look at the overall Circle C market now, there's probably 40-something, 45 active resale listings. And that's all price ranges. But if you look at the product that you're building, there's an even smaller subset of houses available. So, Nick, why don't you take a minute and tell us, because I know that people will end up listening to this and watching the slides that I put together with this, and tell us a little bit about the project at Avana. What are you building there?
Currently, Avana is going to be a long-term development for us. We're eventually going to offer a variety of different products, different sizes, different price ranges, et cetera. But right now, what we're building is we're building homes from 1,800 square feet to right about 2,900 square feet, 1- and 2-story with a couple of 1- and 1/2-story plans. Everything that we have is going to be a minimum of a 3-bedroom, 3 or 4 bedroom, 2 to 4 bath. Starting in the 270s. So it's very, very affordable. And it's a very unique opportunity and subdivision. About 90% of what I have right now and what I'm selling are all going to be green belt lots. They're all backing to protected green space, not just something that could be green space now, and 5 years it could be something else. It's all protected Barton Creek watershed. So it's a very unique opportunity to get into a very affordable home in a very popular market at a very affordable price.
Yeah, so if you think about that, Perry, I mean, you've got, if I remember right, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Nick, it's 380-something lots, correct, when you're finally built out?
It's going to be, right around between 300 and 400.
Okay, so you've got 300 to 400 lots. His current phasing has got over 90% of it is on the greenbelt or protected. I mean, you just don't see that in new construction, especially in Southwest Austin that often. You're at a price that starts at $270. You could probably get close to $400,000, which is fairly close to what my buyers are looking at. And that's a big house too, at $400,000, isn't it?
It's a very big house, and it's a very, very nice finish out. The one thing that Standard Pacific does is it's really our focus to build a higher-end product with focus a little bit more on attention to detail as opposed to how many houses we can build in a year. And it's, working for this builder has been a very, very good experience because it's important to have that mentality when you're building homes in any price range, but it's just going to keep the referral business coming back to you.
Absolutely, and just as a caveat, I would tell you that I actually owned a Standard Pacific home up in Avery Ranch, so I'm real familiar with the product. And one of the reasons I picked Standard Pacific, because there were several builders in Avery Ranch, is that quality. And I know that amenity-wise, obviously, people that may be familiar with Circle C and the the park system over there, the schools, and the swim center and other things like that. What are you going to have amenity-wise in the actual community?
In the actual section of Avana, eventually when we go into some of our later phases, mid to late next year, we'll open up some larger lots and get a little bit further down the road with our development plan. We do have plans for an amenity center. I don't have exact details on what that's going to include. I know that we are working with the HOA, the Circle C HOA, to develop that amenity center, and if you've seen the one that they've just opened this year, I'm pretty sure that what we're going to open down there will be pretty nice as well.
So and when you're referring to the community center, you're talking about the one that's at La Crosse and Spruce Canyon with the water slide, the pool, and the actual building, the newer one?
Yes,
so somebody's familiar with that. Yeah, it's a pretty incredible building. That's the one that opened, I think it was May of this year. Now, you know, if you look at your typical buyer, because this will actually potentially be seen and heard by people that are relocating in, why do people come down, and what are you hearing from relocating buyers as to why they're picking your product in that community?
I've heard a lot of stuff, but I mean, really, it's going to come down to location. I mean, the location in Circle C is pretty phenomenal. You've got just a ton of infrastructure that's already here. The escarpment village, it's very accessible via, you know, getting onto Mopac, you know, all that stuff. It's very, very accessible and convenient. But a majority of the relocating buyers, I guess, you know, that are coming down here, there's a lot of, you know, a lot more companies are hiring in Austin, a lot of people working within 10 to 15 minutes of the Circle C area. That's, you know, location is probably number one. But two, I mean, pricing and what's out there. Being able to build new construction, have something built to your specifications for less or equal to what you could spend on, you know, a 7 to 10-year-old home, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Well, and I would tell you that is the driver for the buyers that are in from out of town that I took out there. And that's one of the reasons I showed them your product, is we were going to look at 6 or 7 resale homes, and they came to that same conclusion. And I know that, you know, being located right essentially next to Grey Rock Golf and Tennis along State Highway 45 there, right at Escarpment, just so people can kind of get the idea where it is. You've got great access to Mopac. You've got great access straight up Escarpment. They easily saw the same thing you just said, and I'll just reiterate that you have a fantastic location. You can't see it on the screen, Nick, but I've got some pictures up of the interior of that model. If somebody wants to come by and take a look at your project, you guys are staffed there. Is it 7 days a week? And the model's open if they want to get in there and look at it?
Monday through Saturday from 10 to 7 and Sunday 12 to 7. So we are always there and always available.
Perfect. And anybody who wants to contact me, I'm happy to take you through. Nick, I appreciate your time. I'll shoot you a link to this once we're done if you want to use it, share it. It's a good, quick recap, and I appreciate your time.
Well, I appreciate the invite. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.